Wow, stories.
My workaholic wife cheats with a coworker, while my mother battles illness. So I serve her divorce papers and take everything in the settlement. My wife is a workaholic. I don't think there is any other way to phrase it. Not only is she a workaholic, but she cannot keep still. She has to be doing something all the time. She works in sales, and sometimes they would get a big deal and work a lot. At first, she would apologize and say she had a lot going on. It developed to this being the norm, and I talked to her, and she would say she didn't notice working that much and apologize. Recently, she stopped feeling like she should apologize and that this is normal. Also, do note I work fewer hours and make more than enough for us both. I make more than double what she makes. I spoke to her a few months ago, and she decided we should go on a retreat together. We barely made it to the airport, and she started her laptop and got to work. I told her how upset I was, but it was only one email. This turned out to be maybe 2 hours a day. It was a big client, and they had to work. I know her work friends quite well. They tell me she is always volunteering for extra work. Her manager once, while we were out, told me how she keeps telling my wife she has enough accounts and should give some to others. Once our neighbor met me on the stairs. My wife hadn't come home, and the neighbor asked how I coped with it. My neighbor noticed how she always came home late. It really ticked me off. My wife always won awards for her many unpaid overtime and dedication. But they have been giving the awards lately to a coworker with a strict working hours rule. I told her about it and wanted to invoke a reaction. Maybe she would realize she didn't have to work as much. She just got angry her friend won and not her. My mother's in town these days and she never is. She kept saying how she wanted us all to meet for dinner. Twice did we schedule dinner, and then my wife would stay at work till 8-9 p.m. I spoke to her firmly that this doesn't work for me. She said we could have both our families over for dinner. I am a chef, and so I do all of the cooking. My mother and I are both chefs, and it really stresses me out to cook for her on top of the 10 people. She has 5 siblings. I tell her how nervous I am and that I shall need her help. The day comes, and of course, she stays in her office and doesn't come out. She says the customer needed to make modifications, and it was urgent. I was furious. I told her if this were to be our life, I wanted a divorce. I just cannot do this anymore, and work has left no room for me. Our families came over, and it was awkward as hell. Her mother seemed to notice, and I told her. I feel like I shouldn't have, but I was really upset. I just feel stuck. We have been married for 2 years and together for 6. I love her dearly, but I cannot deal with coming second place. What am I to do? Can she change? Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. My parents split after 40 years due to similar issues. Dad was a pastor and had been taught that putting church needs first above all else, including his family, was putting God first. Just a few short years after all of the kids left home, we were planning a future 45th anniversary party. We were informed there was no need. They were finally getting divorced. Comment 2. How much does she work in a day and how much in a week? What do you guys do on weekends? Does she have any friends or does she go out alone? Is she distant from you? How do you both spend time together at home? How was your relationship before the work? Well, you already pointed out that you can't take it anymore. What did she say after, and do you both still speak? Now for the update. Thanks for sticking around for this update. So, the whole situation with my wife just blew up even more. Remember how I said she was always working late? Well, it turns out there was more to it than just work. I found out she's been seeing someone from her office. Yeah, that's right, an affair. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I was mad about the work thing, but this is a whole other level. I found out because she left her phone at home one day, which never happens. A message popped up while I was making breakfast, and I saw it. It was from her coworker, not just any coworker, but the one who kept winning those awards she used to get. The message was too personal, not something you'd send to a colleague. I confronted her when she got home, and she tried to deny it at first, but eventually she admitted it. She said it started just because she was lonely and I was always busy with my own stuff. Can you believe that? Me, busy? I'm the one always waiting for her to come home. I was so angry I told her I wanted her out of the house. But then she started crying, saying it was a mistake, that she loves me and it won't happen again. And you know what? I let her stay. I thought maybe we could work through it. But now I'm not so sure that was the right choice. I mean, can I really trust her again? And then, as if things couldn't get any worse, my mom got sick. Really sick. She's been in the hospital for the past week, and it's serious. I've been spending all my time there, and my wife? She's been at work, as usual. She says she's trying to wrap things up so she can be there for me and my mom, but I don't know if I believe her anymore. To top it all off, my boss at the restaurant has been on my case. He's noticed I've been distracted, and he's not happy about it. He told me I need to get my act together or I could lose my job. I can't afford that, not now. But with everything going on, it's hard to focus on work. So that's where I'm at. Stuck in this mess, trying to figure out what to do next. I love my wife, but I don't know if our marriage can survive this. And with my mom being sick, I just feel like I'm being pulled in a million different directions. It's all just too much.